You seem very sure of yourself.
But yes, I am always sure about my own capabilities as a streamer and as a DM to not fuck things up. Well, most of the time I fail, so yeah, no, yeah, no. So yeah. But again, I guess since everybody is here, right? Also, again, how you been?
All right.
Okay, that's good. So, any questions before starting? Because I'm guessing everybody's down to start now.
Are we gonna die?
Well, maybe it depends on how you wanna like. Depends, maybe.
Depends, maybe. Okay.
You never know. Like, one of you might try to climb a tree and then just fall to your death
Mm,
after falling.
Look, fun. Happy days.
Yeah, not falling once, cause there are not so many tall trees, but you fall like good from good 4 trees and you just die on the fourth try. You know.
Oh, don't worry. I have healing word. I'll tell you to get back up.
Oh boy. Yeah. Also, I love the fucking background of this just Montana landscape of like just random mountains. It works for now.
Somewhere
Somewhere out there,
is a
there's a
group of prisoners dying. Yeah.
well, not dying, but
Close to
maybe.
dying.
Add some more mental snow.
Uh-huh. Good, I didn't found any snowy place, but it's fall. It's just the first snow that you get like on like September somewhere. Just out of nowhere shows up for good. Like,
Yeah, hypothermia. Yeah.
oh yeah. Also in the chat, there's the Mr. K. The person who drew the two bits and pieces of art the last session. So if you want to send him characters, he can draw your characters because he tends to do that a lot. Because he's really good at what he does.
All right.
Yeah. But yeah. Welcome everybody to session 2. As now this is no longer a 5-man group but a 4-man. Permanently. Perhaps.
They died in the prison break.
Yeah. He's dead with a big ass dragon. So, I just have a quick question before we go. I asked Julie and Vorum about it, but I didn't ask Zacharias and Jen about it. Did you read the TLDR that they sent?
Yes.
Cool.
Yes.
The survival thing. Yeah, I read.
Cool. So,
Lovely. We could starve to death and freeze to death.
one of you had an idea to bring some bed sheets, but I guess that's not gonna happen for now. So
I made a poncho.
I made a cloak out of my bed sheet, so I'm wearing it.
Yeah, me too.
Someone's currently dragging someone along,
Yeah.
Dovkin, with mine.
Yeah, with the elf. They're really okay. So I guess a recap is in order, which is you woke up in a place you're not familiar with, considered an hellhole on Earth. Met the other denizens on the other side of the on the prison, which consisted of a really angry orc, a really cheerful, jolly old dwarf, and a really depressed elf. you observe the prison on how it works, and without any hesitation, try to break yourself out of this place as fast as humanly possible by basically fucking with the warforged as we're patrolling and basically making them turn against their comrades in which some of you received really nifty little blades. If I remember, it is. Technically, everybody has a blade, right?
I don't think I do.
No, I was about to say everybody except for you. Elf does not. The elf does not have a blade. Duncan does not have a blade. The orc has 2 blades.
I don't have one.
I have 2.
Oh,
I think I have 3.
well, enough for the whole party. Yeah. So, and you thought you were gonna escape without a problem, just a matter of days before you just break enough robots to actually just fight the rest off and just run into the wilderness. But your plans were stopped by this dwarf that came out of nowhere with these 2 massive warforges that kind of one decided to punish you, but then had some better things to do. And in a good 20 or so minutes, a new prisoner came, and she kind of detonated within minutes and decided to just make a giant has all in the prison for all of you to escape. And as you were escaping, behind you, to the north of you, there is just a giant ass gate that, not gate, but more like a large chamber door that leads somewhere into the mountains, and from it come out this large ass black dragon that is actually half living and half dead. And before you fully descended into the forest, you saw this slowing down of the area and eventually stop as everything went into this stasis. As you made to yourself, all 7 of you, with Dawkin and Tone in tow, you all made southwest, down the hill, into the mountains. Not into the mountains, but into the forest as far as the eye can see. So, I guess that covers it. I would like one of you to roll me a d10. Because the journey begins.
Oh boy.
Also, let me get that forest ambience finally. Let's fucking go.
There you go. Looking at a 7.
Yeah. Give me a second. Ambience.
Keen.
Okay. I love the fact that it now shows that the thing is ending in 3 days. But yeah, I just need 1d10. So, Julie does the 7. So, escaping the prison and leaving behind that stasified shell and making your way through the freshly gray snow on this somewhat cold interior of the forest, you wander for a good hour away from the prison. An hour has passed, and there's this intense feeling that's like a gut feeling, if you will, that something is really wrong about the surrounding area. It is real quiet, like unnaturally so, not fit for a forest. I would like everybody to roll me a perception check.
Sure.
So, again,
Mhm.
noticing the weird shift in nature, despite what you hear in the background at this very moment, you don't hear any chirping of birds, any tracks of any game, small or big. You don't see any nest implanted into the tree trunks or the bigger bushes. You don't see any flowers, mushrooms, berries growing anywhere besides just the tall grass that you're kind of just treading in this chilly environment. Despite you being in the middle of a forest that is, by all means, looks untamed by anything like by humanity, it is
Mhm.
it is incredibly unsettling because there's no actual life in it. So,
Jeez. We should tread carefully. It's too quiet out here.
Though it's uncomfortable, I would still rather go this way than back from where we came from.
Yeah, agreed, but we don't know how far the reach goes.
so
I will. I'll have my sword hilt at the ready,
alrighty.
but just still at my side, walking casually.
Right, so who doesn't have one?
Me.
I don't, but I think I'd be more occupied dragging Dofkin along anyway.
Dovkin
I
is
imagine.
not Dovkin is not super heavy. You can almost like slosh him on him, like get on the shoulder and just get him like a bit slower pace, but make it anyway. Also the elf is helping, and the elf does not have the blade.
Like, cause I'm carrying 3, so I can give 1 or 2 if someone wants one.
I will accept one if you offer it to me.
Alright, I'll hand it over 1.
Gentlemen.
The elf denies it. I must serve
Gentlemen.
penance.
So, gentlemen, what is the plan at this point? There's no actual animals around, and there's nothing.
I say we need to keep moving as far away from that place and gesture back as we can.
Agreed.
So, if you decide on where you want to go, just tell me the direction. Basically, like compass wise. West,
Is
north, or
there? Sorry, I was going to ask. Is there any difference, like from where we can see immediately, in any direction, or is it just more kind of woodland?
it's like an untamed woodland, and you're no longer going downhill. It's kind of evened out, but there's no like nothing that would catch your eye. And if it's like you're in the middle of like the generic forest, as a generic forest can be, the main disturbing factor is that you don't see, like you just have this uneasy, really quiet uh, sound, and you don't see any tracks of like wildlife or actual any bigger life besides trees and grass.
Yeah, that's my concern. I'm looking around, like looking for any signs of life, anything.
No, like
Which is a
with
problem.
a DC, like with the roll of 25, you see no signs of like any type of animal taking um, habitat here. Nor do you see any like you don't see any wildflowers, you don't see any mushrooms, you see trees with berries, but you don't see any berries that are out of them. Something is really wrong in this place.
We should probably continue and maybe look for like a stream and follow it. Probably the best shot.
I agree. We should continue moving. We still have the bracelets on our wrists,
Yes.
right?
Yeah, we got the chains off, but not the bracelets.
I'm
Is
going to
there-
imagine that this is what's been hampering me.
Yeah, my faults.
Can I examine the bracelet? Is there any sort of like seam or anything that I can see?
Roll me perception or
I
investigation.
also
You decide.
Okay. All right, that would be perception.
Looking at around at the bracelet, you see that it has no seams, no cracks. It's a singular metallic brand that like it has the shine and the feel of bronze, but it is it is weirdly unnatural. And if you try to like tug it and basically try to break it apart, you just feel like something inside of your own skin beneath the bracelet move with it to the point that it actually causes you pain.
Oh,
oh,
Odd.
I'm
no,
looking
I
at
am not a
it.
fan of this.
Me neither. I do not like being stunted like this.
Is there any kind of symbols or locks on them, or are they just plain kind of?
From your perspective, it looks like it's just, I would say, like a good. Now I need to figure out what, like like a third of a feet, like 3-4 inches of like just 3 or 4 inches of a bracelet that just uh, fits your wrist like a glove and just is neatly stuck to your skin. There's no like uh, any
It's
characteristics.
solid and smooth.
Yes.
I'm already judging to see if I can like balance the blade and see if I can cut through this thing.
Well, anyone interested in losing a hand and seeing if this will fix the problem?
I would rather not.
I kind of look over at the elf and go, "How's your penance coming along? Do you need more encouragement?"
the, the elf just kind of looks at you, Warm. I said I would help you to get out, not lose my arm in the process.
I kind of smile to myself and go, "Fair enough, fair enough."
So what did you even do to get this penance, my dear fellow?
Are you asking? Are you
I am
asking?
asking the elf here.
Uh, he looks a bit dumbfounded. Kind of looks at you. I don't know. I did not know about. He kind of shows you the bracelet as well, because technically all of you have the same length of bracelet. There's no like difference between any of you except for like um for the orc, because Orcs one on the wrist is a lot more thicker, like longer.
Yeah.
But basically, it almost looks like if like you had like a general scheme of like a proportion scheme. The bracelet starts at a specific point and ends at a specific point. You all have that kind of unsettling symmetry, like symmetry.
Alright.
Always on the right hand, always like 4 inches, same coloration, same thickness.
I have a look at kind of mine, examine it for a bit, and then I turn to everyone else and say, well, you can try hacking yours off if you like. I'm going to find civilization, find a blacksmith, and see what he can do about it.
Do you really think he's just gonna knock it off without any question?
Well, it's knock it off in a town with experts and hopefully medical attention, or knock it off in the middle of the woods.
Well, I think they are most likely to just send you back to some kind of jail or prison.
Not all blacksmiths are professionals.
That's not what I mean, good fellow. It's more like someone coming into town with something that looks like chain and shackle and asks you to remove them. They will probably just send you back to the block.
Do you mean these? And I wave the shackles that are literally, I think we're all still carrying.
Yes.
One problem at a time.
So,
Yes, well, let's worry about getting out of here, this area first. I still feel very uneasy.
Alright. Let's look for something that could lead us to a civilization.
so decide on which direction you want to go, because
Probably just continue the same direction.
okay, southwest. Everybody okay with that? Nobody has different. Okay.
I'm good, yeah, Colonel.
I would like one of you to roll me a d10.
Who's in the front? Who's leading the way?
I would say Julie, because she's the most charismatic and probably the one who can handle the sword the best.
Okay. Status again.
Size and 20 charisma.
Okay. So.
I mean, I think the ranger would probably be the one, through the forest. But okay.
So. Oh shit. Continuing on that direction. Minutes go into hours, and about 3 hours in from the last point, you all can gradually start to see the change in the environment that you're walking. The actual noises of the birds and smaller critters come back to life in the distance. You start to notice nests and actual traces of like animals being in this place. The forest itself looks somewhat back to normal as you slowly tread more and more into that direction. As for that 9, there was quite a few clouds in the sky, heavy grayish, with unpredictable contents in store. But through those 3 hours, they kind of dissipated and they kind of just left you with this kind of warmish sun that is slowly making its way west as well. There. It has been another 3 hours. As far as you know, like, to quick give summary, the forest looks better. Actual wildlife can be heard and tracks can be seen.
I like this direction. I say we keep going this away from the creepy murder forest.
Agreed. We should probably also
I'm all about keeping that place behind us.
Alrighty here. So if all of you continue in that direction, please roll me another d10.
We should probably look for something, some kind of ration or something to eat while we are walking.
It is up to you, my dudes.
Steal the eggs.
Yes, it's been about 6 hours. I'm actually starting to get a little hungry, so if anyone wants to start looking for something for us to eat, that would be amazing.
Roll me perception or nature to scavenge for food or any tracks for something bigger.
I can do that.
Just when you roll, do call perception or nature, which you're gonna take.
Perception.
All right, and that was the D10 that you asked for.
Okay. I mean, also, on Sunny's group, everybody likes to take turns on the D10 because apparently, because it's never like how to say. My numbers on the D10 is always randomized. It doesn't mean like if you go low, like hit a 1, it's gonna just automatically mean combat. Okay.
That's perception.
Okay. And I'm guessing, Chet, it's also perception for you? Or nature?
Yeah.
Okay.
I can't find anything in this darned forest.
Okay. So, again, making your way in that direction as you all decided to go even further from the spooky, scary prison that you just all exited out. You start to find more recent footprints of some deer with a bunch of tuft fur in their prints, I guess. Also, looking at the nests, because that's like the quickest go-to, and there are plenty of nests. A lot of those nests have already hatched, and there's nothing but shells. But what you do find again in one of those nests is a single silver coin.
I take it. I look at it and I kind of examine it.
From your first impression, just looking at it, you don't recognize the coin. Like, you know that it's silver, you know what a coin is, but you don't recognize either the heads or tails of it. Roll me a history check.
Can you find anything yet, my gentleman?
I hold the coin up for everyone else to see also.
That's promising.
Well, it's certainly strange, a coin out here in a nest.
What kind of roll would you like us to make?
History check for the coin to make, because you all recognize that it's a silver coin, but the heads or tails are like not.
Some birds are quite the thieves, I think.
Also,
So.
as for the footprints of deer that you saw again, they're heading towards west southwest. So basically a bit more west, as they're basically made their path like into animal file, I guess, because two man file doesn't sound right. Warham with that 20, with that dirty
I know
dirt.
my coins.
Yeah. There have been many lowly nobles and monarchs and barons that claimed the wilder parts of the empire because nobody were willing to take them. You would know that this is a coin that was minted really, really, how to say this? A good 2 centuries ago was minted by a specific baron that basically set foot in a dense foresty area that nobody wanted to go because of a goblin threat. And eventually, the goblins overtook that small barony and decimated to the ground.
Right. I relay this information and begin eyeing the woods a bit more suspiciously than before.
That's a shame.
Great. Goblins. Just what we need.
Well, we should not, if we see them, we should not start out hostile. Perhaps they're not as bloodthirsty. I hope.
I can only hope. There are deer tracks here going southwest.
Do we seem like we are prepared to hunt an animal of that caliber?
You just hear two simultaneous "shh" as you look back and you see the orc just kind of looking looking intently at the tracks when you just mentioned tracks.
Runs it down.
I look back at. I think we're ready.
Food.
You mean we're gonna be running after it? Or
Yeah.
Kind of creep and walk now. Run maybe later.
Yeah, we're gonna try to follow these tracks until we can actually get eyes on it, and then go from there.
Scout, stalk,
these?
kill. I like it. As the orc just kind of, still sheeted with those two blades, just kind of walks, tiptoeing.
Don't these things like run for hours on end? This
I mean,
not feasible.
I'd feel better if I had my bow, but I hold the blade too. Gotta work with what we got.
I don't think.
We may not have a bow, but can we find any rocks? We could probably throw rocks at it.
What? Just confusion from Chudwell.
I think maybe we should compromise with a particularly sharp stick. You know, a stick plus rock, a sharp stick, throw the sharp stick.
You just see, as soon as you say that, you just see the elf just kind of look up and then look at a specific branch, and he just climbs the tree and just hangs from the branch and trying to like pull the branch down, but he's kind of stuck now.
Voram just hates the idea of running. Very aware he's probably one of the shortest people here.
Will help. He kind of hangs.
Problem is, my dear fellows, we were gonna have to stalk.
I will grab him by one of his ankles and try and pull him.
Possibly for hours. I don't think we have enough energy for that.
Well,
I'll go
going to be
under
walking for hours anyway. We might as well walk in the direction of possible food.
Yes. We're out in the wilderness. We don't know when we'll make it to, or if we'll make it to any nearby civilization.
All right.
We're in survival mode here.
As you can see, just weird acrobatic display.
Yeah, Julie, you just need to like tug him on an ankle, and just immediately the whole branch just fucking and just collapses. As he takes the branch haphazardly, like not knowing how to use a stick. Just kind of yeah, this will work.
I am still looking at the bracelet, and I'm just like, God, I want it off. I'm just still looking at the bracelet and the blade, and like, is it worth trying?
Are there any sharp stones around the place?
No, but you have the blade.
I suppose, yeah, but I want to sharpen it, not just set it on fire.
I mean,
recall it melting just steel.
Is it not maybe a better idea if we can find some kind of that acts like a rope that we can make a makeshift bow?
like a vine.
Yes.
Would you get? Do you get vines in the cold? That was a tropical thing.
Normal other finds and probably something else you can use.
Well,
Or you will have to braid some kind of fiber into a string.
Well, I mean, there's
That's
ivy in the
true.
cold. You could easily braid some ivy.
I like this
Maybe not
idea.
some kinds of ivy. I don't think you just want to be grabbing ivy.
I like this idea better than trying to stalk an animal with only melee weapons.
How cold are we about now, by the way?
you're chilly. You're just
Okay.
yeah. It's
It's
the sun is warm. The snow that was in the beginning of the day has melted, and there's just small puddles of water occasionally. It's kind of relatively warm.
Well,
we
there's always other uses for fire.
we should probably keep moving before the deer get too far ahead.
So,
Honestly, if we hadn't just escaped prison and are fighting for our lives, it'd be a lovely day.
Frozen in time, forever.
That indeed.
Well, hopefully forever.
so a decision needs to be made. What would you like to do?
Voram votes for following the tracks.
Mm-hmm. Okay,
As we follow the track, I would like to look for just stones along the ground to pick up and collect.
Perception? Anybody else?
I'll do that as well. I'm lower down. I might see it better.
Sure, but like, do you wanna look for something specific as well?
I perhaps start braiding some from the fibers that are around. Could I perhaps braid a rope or a string?
Roll me perception as well.
All right.
24.
I'm just gonna focus on the tracks.
Alrighty. If you roll me nature check or a survival check. You can decide.
Survival, yeah, that's better.
I got a 15.
Okay. Let's see. So Julie goes for sharp rocks. Jedwell goes for something that would be a good rope, and again stays on tracks. And Warren, you gonna roll?
Yeah, I'll. 1 second. No.
Alright, 26. Following the tracks.
Okay.
I am. Does anyone need help with anything? Because
Technically, you can ask the NPCs to help you. I gave you.
no, does anyone else need my help? Because where's everyone good? In that case, I'm going to be more watching the surroundings.
All
Check
right.
we don't walk into anything.
Okay, rolling perception. So starting with the lowest, Chudwell, looking through the area, all you can see are, well, a lot of pine, but also quite a few leaf-based trees. Half of them already have shed their leaves. You don't find any, like, either plants or anything that would look sturdy enough to make a rope for a bow. Then it would be Julie. Julie, looking around with your travels, you do find quite a few odd-looking stones that are sharp enough to actually make an impact on wood. As for okay. As for Gen, looking at the tracks closer and basically following the intent, you realize that you're probably following a band of about 8 or more deer or elk by the amount of hoof prints that you're probably really close because these footprints are less than a day old. And as for Warren, looking around for surroundings, anything, eventually, like, just seeing if anybody's maybe following you or seeing you as their next prey and or meal. You don't find any obvious threats. You do see occasionally smaller critters, smaller birds. Nothing that would indicate that I'm gonna just charge you and eat you. Nor do you find anything that would be considerable as a food. Um, but you do have this sneaking suspicion that you are being watched. Not like from a specific direction, but overall as in the forest. Or as if the forest is watching you. So yeah. Please roll me a d10. One of you. As you're following the tracks for the elk. Okay. So, following the tracks, you go from southwestern direction to directly west, based upon the fact that you're basically going the direction of the setting sun. It takes you about 2 additional hours before all of you start to hear a distant stream of water. But with that, an occasional roar or a moan from an animal, also in the direction of the water.
Like in pain, or
No, just like a genuine, like, how to say this, a basic roar, like, I guess the best interpretation would be a mating call, if you will.
Just wildlife.
Yeah. So yeah.
like an actual growl, or more something like less hostile.
Less hostile.
All right.
Oh.
So yeah.
Can we tell like how far the sound is from us?
Roll me survival. Everybody who wants to estimate how close are you to the source of water and the noises that are made in the same direction.
What?
So, of course, the ranger knows best. Again, you realize that the water stream is really close with the noises, so you presume whatever the noises are making, they're actually probably just by the running water to get a drink. And you would estimate that it's probably between 300 and 400 feet away.
Okay, everyone. Possible food ahead.
Woohoo.
You see the elf kind of looking eager with his blunt spear.
Let's everybody relax. Let's not run out crazy and give them a heads up. Proceed cautiously.
Should we not sharpen that thing as I point towards the blunt stick he has.
I mean, he can use it to bash it over the head.
Yes.
The elf just kind of looks at you, Jethful, for a moment, and looks at Gen. Yeah, like he said. So if you want to sneak up quietly, please roll me a stealth check. It's a group stealth check, everybody.
I'm gonna stay behind because I have nothing.
Man,
Okay, I need to
get
roll.
this.
I need to roll for the. Oh yeah, question. Warren, are you gonna stay? Like, are you gonna put Dovkin, or are you gonna go?
No, I'm not going to be dragging him, trying to drag him stealthily. No, I'm not going to try that.
Okay, so you.
I'll make sure he's comfortable,
Uh-huh.
and slightly out of sight, and then yeah, I'm not going to drag him towards
Okay.
the noise.
So d20 plus 2 and d20 plus
Ooh.
6. Okay, so let's see. Okay, so 13, 19, 23, 6, and 12. It succeeds. Okay, so you make as closely as 60 to 50 feet, basically reaching the end of the tree line, and there's this small opening of like good 40 feet of like, I guess, river stones with a small track of like a small 5 to 6 foot wide gap of running water, and you see 7 elks just kind of drinking from it, and occasionally like raising their head and just giving like a 180 in their direct, like with their heads, and kind of turning back and drinking. You are 40 to 50 feet.
How big are these elks? Because they can be pretty gosh darn big.
Yes, they can be quite big. Um, from where you're looking at, they're probably 5.5 foot tall, and maybe 5, 6 foot long. They look
Let me see it.
relatively have with your perception. They look relatively healthy. Nothing seems to be wrong with them. Looks like they have quite a bit of meat on them.
Any weak links?
Where's where's the weak one?
Yeah.
Looking like which one would be the most vulnerable one?
The orc approaches closely. I got a plan like we did in Tribe. One of you sneak around into the other side and spook them. We, with weapons draw, attack them. And it kind of shuts his mouth and looks intently at all of you.
I guess I can do that.
Do you want to do that?
I don't have anything, so sure. I'll spook him.
Righty. Roll me a stealth check, Chadwell, and make it. And make it good.
Yes. I may be a rogue, but I'm not proficient in.
Oh no, he's not proficient in stealth.
Wait, you're not proficient in stuff and you're a rogue.
Because
It's like Rogue 101.
No, you just roll a natural one. I'm like,
Oh.
9.
9.
okay. Going a bit leftwards, basically away from the group, and trying to basically go across and try to basically spook everybody in their direction. Basically almost making to the river, like the shallow river. you just suddenly like step foot in like steady piece of rock, but you just as soon as you do, you just almost slip, and just a bunch of water, like a bunch of pebbles, just hit the water and make a bunch of noise, and all of you, from your perspective, you just see like 4 heads of elks just kind of just immediately rise up and just looks in that direction, while 3 other um, elk are kind of shuddering and kind of falling back to the opposite side where they heard the noise. Chadwell, looking at the direction of the elks, trying to see if they notice you, you see there's 4 pairs of like these yellowish eyes that are like illuminated by the falling sun, just slightly lights them up, just kind of staring you down. What would you like to do?
I'm just gonna. He's just gonna lie down. Fuck it.
He's gonna lie down.
He's just gonna go as low as possible. Maybe they'll get closer, and you guys can bat
Roll
them.
roll me a deception check.
Yeah, this is where I shine.
A charlatan rogue deceives the local elk. Elk get fucking bogged.
There we are. 16.
There you go, plus 13.
And roll a tree.
You wanna tell us, like, you succeeded to roll, but can you tell us how you entice the elk to be distracted?
I like hold my hand, and I hold my hand a bit forward, and I like twiddle with my thumb over my hand, like I have something.
Everybody, in your perspective, you just see the entire like group of elks just kind of going, like almost lining up, and just 2 of them slowly approaching the um
I'm gonna get murdered by a bunch of elk, probably, but
just slowly approaching Zaracrus, like in confusion and also like interest.
I'm gonna tap the orc.
Yeah.
Give him eyes, like so. Yeah, next.
So while they're being enticed, I want to try to go and take one out.
Okay, so as soon as you do that, he kind of nods. Okay, who's going?
All right, I'm gonna go. I'm gonna try to go and take one out.
Okay.
Are we not all doing this?
I mean, who's going? He's asking.
Oh.
The elf just kind of like, yeah. We just fucking. It's like fucking pull up.
But he's feeling a lot more brave with that stick.
Yeah. So.
I'll grab my lightsaber and I'll give it a try.
Alrighty. So
I want to ask real quick. Between like where we are and where Chudwell is there like very obvious places that they would try to flee off to as soon as we spring out?
the only way out is either, like, towards, like, where you technically are looking is basically a riverbed, just like that has been a drought been hit, and just like there's a small stream left. The only way they could go is in your direction, in the direction opposite to Chud, or basically into the direction where you all looking at. So
Right, I'm just gonna start trying to circle around a bit to where I think they're gonna bolt in the direction that none of us are currently.
roll me a stealth check.
Right. This is me trying to be useful.
Yeah.
I don't fancy getting murdered by elk.
Well, you could say that's a first.
I'm gonna get trampled by
It succeeds. It succeeds.
Mm.
You just where you want to position behind the elks, basically just encircle them.
Where I think you said that there's no one opposite where Chudwell is. So
No.
is that the one direction where there's none of us,
Yes.
where they could bolt? Yeah, I'll go to over there.
Okay. So
So they're vaguely surrounded.
okay. Um, the orc just kind of looks at you, Julie,
Mm.
and then you again,
Right.
and just says, pick the ones closest to you. As he bolts out, screaming, with
Oh
those
God.
two swords unsheathed, and all of the elk are just startled for a moment, but standing in the same place. I would like everybody to roll initiative. We're rolling initiative for food, ladies and gentlemen. Let's fucking go.
All right, let's do it.
Oh crap! I'm so gonna get trampled.
Why not? I'm gonna have
Yeah,
to
why shouldn't I be?
We're in survival mode. This is survival of the fittest.
Oh yeah, amazing.
Okay,
I rolled a 1.
let me just initiative. So it would be this would be the orc, and this would be the elf. God damn it. Okay, and of course this will be the horde of elks. Okay, so let me quickly.
And I would roll low on initiative. High on everything else.
Okay,
Low.
so Julie is first with 18, then it would be the elk, then it would be again, then it would be the elf, then it would be Vorum, let's see, Vorum, then would be Zach, and then it would be the orc. Did I miss someone? Just quickly checking. I feel like I missed something, but
Maybe me on last place. I don't know.
oh wait. No, you're the last. Well, no, you're not the last technically because you rolled 5. And the orc also rolled 5, but he has 3 dexterity, so you go first. So you're not last. So, top of the round, Julie, you're up. The all elk are startled. Just by the sudden rush of noises, they kind of look surprised and, well, surprised. What would you like to do?
All right, I will take the orc's advice and run straight at the nearest elk and take a swipe with my sword if I'm close enough.
Okay, so dexterity plus proficiency plus 3. So, because you're proficient with this weapon, because it's
Yep. So
Also, just FYI, now that the roll for the actual sword is, the sword is plus 3 and it's a dexterity based weapon.
Right. Like a scimitar.
Yes. Now I know how to spell scimitar. Yes. The more you know.
Alright.
Dab, dab, dab. Knowledge.
Knowledge. Yeah.
Knowledge. Back in the Beryl Hills. Next Ferrari. But you know
you said proficiency plus dexterity plus 3?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh boy. Oh boy. So that's a plus 10 for you to hit. And you definitely hit. Roll damage. Oh yeah, damage. It is 2d8 plus your strength. Not strength, but dex and proficiency.
Alright.
Okay. And
That would be 8.
Yeah. So, with the first hit, you just kind of plunge the sword and just seeing what would happen. You just see it just literally goes as smooth as butter through the elk and just kind of rends with a deep gash. It's still alive, but it's heavily bleeding and it's in basically a shock. Um, and I guess that's your turn, Julie, right?
Yeah, that'll be it.
Okay. So now it's the elk's turn. So, as for the elks, the one that got hit is stunned and it will automatically pass its turn because it's literally frightened shitless getting hit. Two of the elks will go across the river, basically trying to make acrobatics with disadvantage because they both are startled. So that's a succeed. That's also a wait. Yeah, that's all. So you just see two elk immediately jump across the small river and just fucking go more west towards the falling sun into the tree lines. Um, the other two elk are gonna go
Yeah,
towards you, Warren.
can I get an attack of
Yes,
opportunity?
yes, you can. So you can
Are
decide.
either of these the hurt ones?
No, the hurt one is
No,
basically
gotcha.
standing there, frightened, not even knowing what the fuck happened to it.
Gotcha.
So, roll to hit, and
What was it? Was it +3? Did you say?
yeah, +3 if you're proficient with short swords.
Short swords.
Yeah. Yes, and it's
Yeah,
also a finesse weapon, so.
and
'Cause
finesse.
orcs.
Gotcha. Sorry, 1 second.
Yes.
7 +7 that should be then, shouldn't it?
+7. That misses.
Ah, oh well. Never mind.
It literally just fucking like you thought you're gonna hit it, but you just get a bunch of singe hair in your face.
I'm too busy jumping out of the way.
Yeah.
I'm trying to be run over.
And one elk goes towards Zan. Not Zan, Zach. With its horns first. Zach, I would like you to roll me a dexterity saving throw.
Who?
You, Chad, you roll, cause one of the elk decided, you know what, fuck you, and just tries to
Understandable.
Understandable. Have a great day.
Dex, you said, right?
Dex save.
Yeah.
Ooh. Okay, so let me just.
That's a 10, but still probably horrible.
Yeah, that's a hit. So you are getting gored for. God damn it!
Not the face.
Not the face. For 14 piercing. Oh boy. So you are basically got, how to say this, charged at with one of its antlers, but from the impact and you being so low as a dwarf, no offense, you basically, by either your volition of staying still and trying not to get just shish kebabbed on top of the elk and just be dragged somewhere else, or just by basic physics, one of the antlers, the left antler of the elk, just snaps into the ground as the elk just kind of charges past you with one of its like antlers missing. You're now just you're alive because you still have a lot of hit points. You
Fucking
just have
bleeding.
yeah. You basically have you have in your hands and quite a few places in your chest a large pristine antlers horn or elk's antler, and the main bad thing is that there's a lot of puncture holes that it made into your skin, and in a few places you're just kind of slowly bleeding. Not being too serious, but I was like, ooh, nasty. So yeah, let me just quickly take off the HP from you. And it's 86 now. Yeet. Alrighty. So, and for the last one that is still there, it's gonna charge directly at the location where you were at. And it's gonna just try to make a run for it, but uh, it's basically gonna get hit by the orc once. So 3 plus 3 plus 7. Okay, that's a hit. It's proficiency. Okay, that's an 8. And then of course it's the elf's turn. As it's gonna try to bonk it. He fucking missed. You just fucking see the orc just growl and just fucking give it like a single slash, and the fucking elf just gonna and the 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 branches literally just fucking bounces off the fur. With that being said and done, it is up for again. Again, there's one elk that just got hit that just ran past the orc and the elf. There's 2 that are making past Vorum, and there's one that is missing an antler, just kind of going where Chud was. And also there's one in the middle that is kind of frozen in fear after getting slashed.
Okay. How close is the one that got its antlers, the antler missing?
Actually, I think it's from you. It's 40 feet.
Yeah,
Can you
couldn't
make
get
it?
to that one. Yeah, I only have 35 feet. So I will hit the one that that the orc will already hit.
Okay. So, as the elk basically trying to furiously make it way out of there, but is getting inhibited by the tree line and just basically trying to find the way to go through. You just go from behind. Roll me to hit.
Jeez.
Roll me a D100. I want to just see what happens. Because when you roll a natural 1 or natural 20, you just roll a D100. Give me a second. I gotta call for a second.
Okay.
Jeez, I'm not freaking.
Okay, so uh again, basically you try to chase down it. It wasn't a big push. It was only 20 feet. You got from behind and you about to like just puncture into its side with his blade, but you just slipped on some moss, and before you reached the landing, one of the elk's foot, as he's trying to make a way through like a gap, just hits you straight into the jaw.
Whoa.
Just give me a second. I wanna check. +2. You suffer 7 bludgeoning damage as you get just fucking kicked in the teeth. You're alive. You're still there. Yeah. Don't rangers have second attack?
Yes.
Roll to hit again.
Okay.
I didn't switch to. I do have battle music. I didn't switch to battle music because I feel like that would be too ridiculous. Okay, that's a double hit.
That's more like it. Roll 2. Plus, it was Dex plus 3.
Yeah, Dex plus proficiency +3.
Oh,
Well,
that's 11 again.
Okay. Oh boy. Yeah. You just sunk your blade into the creature. You just hear this one final groan before it just collapses, and there's no more kicking. Okay, then it's the elf's turn. The elf, unceremoniously, just gonna approach from behind, just whack it into the back, just hitting it. Just gonna, yeah, got him. Finally, food. So that's the end of the elf. Worum, you're up. There's still 2 elks 20 feet away from you, just running away from the whole encounter.
How fast they run?
They're technically 20 feet of you, so you can
Oh, okay, I
yeah,
could reach
so
them.
yeah. By the few.
The only time the entire campaign. Catch up to someone. I mean, yeah, why not?
Okay.
Sorry, did you say the weapon went off short sword proficiency?
Yes.
Right, okay, I got my bonus wrong then. It should be +9 then. Just double checking that. Yeah.
That's a
I'm
miss.
still rolling terribly.
Don't you-
Never mind. Never mind.
Okay. Nothing else you'd like to do?
I just jumped out of the way, tried to
Okay.
get him, missed, got back up, tried to swipe at their ass, missed again. No, I'll turn back.
Zach, it is up. It's your turn, and you basically just have this like you try to pull out slowly and just feel the answer just kind of give in, and just quite a few places just punctured, and you're like, and you still see the elk like 15 feet like behind you, just kind of looking back at you, pissed off.
Oh God. So there was like an antler next to me that had been broken off, right?
Yes, you have literally in your hands as you pull it out.
Okay, I'm gonna try to use it to protect myself.
Are you gonna attack it?
No, I'm like hold up in front of me, like to protect myself from any more blows.
Okay. So you're just basically holding your action.
Sure.
Cool. And then it's the orc's turn. As the orc, you just fucking hear him rushing towards the elk that stopped looking at you, Zach. Cause you might not know, but orcs have a racial ability that gives them additional 30 speed of movement as a bonus action.
Mm.
So he makes it because 60, and he attacks twice. So, oh boy. Oh god, give me a second.
Okay.
That's a miss. God damn it. Okay, that's a hit, finally. Okay. 2d8 plus. Okay, 5. Okay, that's a 15. So, he injures the elk that stood by, but it's not dead. Top of the round, Julie, you see the frightened elk in the center, just kind of looking at you like, not dumbfounded, but more like confused and surprised, but shaking. What would you like to do?
I will look in its eyes since it's looking at me and say, "I'm so sorry, love, but I am quite hungry," and swing again.
Wow.
You had to make it personal. I see. I see. Okay.
Not personal. It's just food. It's just business.
This is survival. Okay.
Okay.
Just
Roll to hit. That's a hit. Roll damage.
What was it again? 2d8?
Yeah, 2d8 plus dexterity, proficiency, and plus 3. Because it's a plus 3 weapon. Let's go. He just fucking. I just imagine you literally say that. He just literally shank it in his chest.
As I remove the burning blade, I'm like, I'm so sorry, but you are food. Next.
Going to next. Now it's the elk's turn. The other two elks that were fleeing from Vorum, flee again. Vorum, since you're close to both of them, you can make attack opportunity to one of them, since none of them were injured by your attempts.
Don't screw this again. Yeah, sure, let's have a go.
Let's fucking go! A natural 20.
I'm just, natural 1, I'm gonna stab myself.
nice.
Nice.
Indirect.
Oh, no, finally.
That's a
redeem
hit.
myself.
That's a hit.
Oh god, what's the actual hit? What's the damage? I've forgotten.
2d8
2d8
plus
plus
dexterity, proficiency plus 3.
plus dexterity plus proficiency. So oh, okay.
Yeah.
Plus dexterity plus proficiency plus 3, gotcha. So that's...
You actual madman. You actual madman, you killed it. You just, I just imagine you literally just
chop
fucking.
his legs off.
Yeah, I was about to say, you just do a wide curve and just fucking like.
I've seen the rest like dart around me, and I'm like, no.
Yeah.
Aims for the legs.
And then it is Gen. Again, you basically are by the corpse of the elk, and the elk looks quite proud. Um, you just hear a fucking this really blood-curdling yell from one of the elks, and you look and you see Borum is like celebrating as this elk missing its two back legs, trying to get away.
Dear.
Gee. Okay, I got 35 movement. Is there any one of them I can get to hit?
No. The only entity that's still alive, it's the elk that the orc is facing. That is standing its ground. So
And I'm not gonna worry. I killed one. I see two others were killed. Pretty sure the orc's gonna kill that one. I'm just gonna start dressing down the corpse.
okay.
Alright. That's okay.
So it's the elf's turn, and the elf will literally run out of like the tree line and just chuck his tree branch towards the elk that is like having a one-on-one with the orc. It's gonna be horrible because it's with disadvantage. Yeah, just fucking the fucking branch just goes into the water. Just like yeah, it makes no impact. Woram, Woram, one elk fucking bolted and went away. Well, the other is, well, it's kind of missing half its legs.
I bet it's still trying to like claw its way away. He started
God.
so.
It tried to, but but then the shock just sets in and it just dies immediately.
Okay.
Well, it's still just like ah. But yeah, Warren, what would you like to do? Nothing. just look at the corpse.
Have the rest gone? Is it just this poor one left?
No, there's only one left that is basically one-on-one with the orc. Speaking of that, Zach or Chud, there is one left. It's been heavily damaged and it's bleeding from the orc. What would you like to do?
Come again. Sorry.
There is only one elk left, and it's the heavily damaged one nearby, next to you, that is fighting with the orc.
So how many bodies do we already have?
Three.
I don't. I don't even think I can eat three. I'm just gonna pick myself up and try to move somewhere more safe out of the range.
You're gonna bail from the actual fight. So
We have enough.
Well, the orc doesn't know enough, as it is his turn, and he's gonna just whack it. Whack it.
Yes.
Let's go. Yeah,
Just gonna...
he hit, and just from the modifiers alone, he kills the elk, just fucking decapitating in a single swipe. So, combat is technically over. You got yourself 4 elk.
Wonderful.
I cannot get rid of that picture in my head of just fucking Worm celebrating as like there's a elk missing 2 legs, just
Yeah, it's like I'm actually really happy that I finally hit one. I'm trying to not look at. I'm like, yes, fuck you. Oh, no, I mean, yeah, I got it, no problem. And then the more I look at this poor elk, I'm like, oh, actually, I feel kind of bad.
So yeah, it is slowly. It's how do I say this? It is getting dark. The sun is almost set. As you gather your prey, to basically, process it. I would like one of you to roll me nature and another to roll me a survival check. Who's gonna oversee the process so that nothing goes to waste?
I can do survival.
He's gonna do nature.
To be
Alright,
honest, whatever we lose, we will probably have enough food.
Well,
Probably,
remember
but we
that.
don't know how
Remember-
long. Yeah.
There's a giant orc, and you know that we have to be.
Yes, but this is raw meat, and there's no way to actually preserve it.
We're
It
gonna
will
have to
rot
camp, so we can
eventually.
probably cook a bunch of it.
Yeah, we're gonna make camp.
Damn.
Jeez.
Okay. So the first revelation when you actually started to process the food, you realize that the blade gives no shits. Wherever the blade hits, it's basically just charred, coalish mess of a meat. It is not edible to say the least.
Right. So we need a different tool.
Well,
Just grab some kind of sharp rock, my dear
Yeah.
fellows. God,
Yeah.
fuck this hurts.
no. I'm talking about like the injuries from battle.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. As for again, roll me 4d6 plus your wisdom.
This was for everyone, or just...
No, just 4d6 plus wisdom for again.
Alright.
So, after basically getting all the good meat, dropping anything that would be suspicious or just the burn marks from the weapon damage, you acquired 17 rations worth of food.
Is that just from one or for all four?
From all four.
Okay.
Yeah. As for the fur, you, Julie, you basically acquire / salvage about 40 pounds of elk fur.
Okay.
It is good enough for 2 people to wear. It is, how to say this? It is not tan, so the inside is sticky and moist, but it's, how do I say this? It does the job well, but it's not really nifty.
Okay.
So
There is a stream over there if we want to kind of clean it down a bit.
Are there like, well, let me Google what it's actually...
technically, tanning is you need to like either dry it really slowly or
Yeah, it's quite a slow process.
yeah.
Yeah.
We're not doing it out here unless we want to like stay here.
I mean, like,
We
take a
we
couple
don't-
tendons and
Technically,
use them.
yeah. Technically, you can use it for cover or for
Yeah.
actual clothing, but it's gonna not feel nice because it
Can
does
we
the.
use... Can we use the tendons as a bowstring? Because
Yes, you can actually do.
alright.
Oh.
Yeah.
Right. So
You acquire enough for 2 bows with like.
Okay.
where do we want to? Because we've got to start thinking about where we're going to camp now, unless we want to start walking around in the middle of the dark. And also, we need to probably cook the meat.
Alright.
So
That's
where
true.
do we want to do that?
We also probably should get away from this kill zone we just made.
Yeah. Probably stick
should-
near the river, though.
Yes, we need to stay near the stream. It is. Is this water fresh enough to drink?
Yes,
or
yes,
clean?
it is fresh. It is cold.
Can I recommend that we just walk in the stream for about half a
Yeah.
mile downwards?
Yeah,
That
I
we
agree
don't
with that.
have any tracks and we are somewhere safe and have water, and we can set up camp there.
Okay, so to put in perspective, technically the river goes south, like from north to south. So which path are you going, north or south?
South.
Okay,
We go south, go down.
What way is the stream going?
Yeah. Which way is it flowing?
south.
Yep.
South is probably the best idea, no?
Alrighty.
Yeah.
So
We should go downstream.
with that being said and done, please roll me another d10. As
By the way, I go back for I go back for
Yeah.
Hopkins.
Yeah.
I haven't forgotten about it.
so
Whatever's the leftover rubbish and stuff, I kind of want to gather it up and like cover it with leaves and branches and stuff.
alrighty. So the whole processing of basically processing the meat and any its valuable parts takes you up a good hour as you begin to make your way south down the river. The sun is no longer visible. The only thing that is visible is the rays of light in the sky, as the night is basically dominant. It is getting colder, and you travel for a good 30 minutes before it goes from chilly to cold. I would like everybody to roll me a perception check.
Since no one rolled the d10 thing.
There we are. 23.
So, traveling a good 30 minutes downwards, you start to see quite a few eyes to the right towards west. Small eyes, just a good 6 pairs, and as you come a bit closer, just like as you realize there's something watching you and you try to make any step, immediately the eyes just scatter, and the eyes were a size of like small creatures, not as small as like mice, but not as big as say dogs or wolves.
Right. Let's see how far these eyes were. Like.
Yeah, how far away?
A good 100 feet in front of you to the right.
In front of us?
Well, if you look to the right, basically going down the stream, you would saw those pair of eyes. But as soon as Chud made contact and made a movement, immediately they scattered.
Something is watching us, my dear fellows. It's not big, but it is something.
I'll just notify you all. It is late. It is cold, and going for.
We're gonna have to stop soon.
Yeah.
We need to. We can't worry about those. We'll deal with them if they come close. We need to set up camp now.
What is in our immediate surroundings? I imagine probably still the river bed.
Yes.
We're following it along.
Yes, the river bed. Quite a lot of trees surrounding. And if you look at the direction of how to say this, if you look at the direction of the eyes, there is like a small hovel, like a good 4-foot hovel, like not like a nest, but more like a refined ground for someone to just stay and just wait. As for like the other surrounding areas, there is no like big stones or like caves. There's quite a few trees. Quite a few of them are close enough to make some sort of shelter using the pelts. So it's up to
So
you.
I think we probably should at least poke our head in that direction, see what it is. But we're
Alright.
gonna have to essentially stop here.
Let's check the hovel. Yeah.
So, going to the hovel, from your perspective, from the outside perspective, it looks like a small place where like a small critter could take a nesting, but it doesn't look like it's been made by a critter. And as you like actually enter in, it's not very big, but it's not as small as you thought. It's a good like 4 feet deep with like a 2 foot roof of like just trees and brushes covering it, and it could fit like 3 of you. There's
Can I
no.
see it?
Hmm?
Oh, sorry. Go
No,
ahead.
no, it's no. Tell me, what is it?
I was going to say, could I check for any tracks?
Sure. Roll me survival or nature.
Survival.
Yeah, you find quite a few tracks, but the freshest ones that are extremely uh, recent resemble those of a fox. Uh, More specifically, a fox with a bunch of kids, aka uh, smaller foxes, baby foxes, if you will.
So this was a fox. This was a fox den. Is it?
Stay
I think we just ran off a small fox family.
Well, the den where you are at the moment doesn't look like it's been made by any animal. It doesn't look like no animal would just make this 4 foot deep place and then make a roof of just brushes.
So either something else
No.
made it and then left, and now the animals live here, or they have a pet. They're still here, and they have a pet animal.
Well,
Perhaps.
one of you did say that goblins could have been seen around.
I mean, that was like 200 years ago.
Well, goblins usually get very territorial, so wouldn't be surprised they're still here.
I do not think they would stay here for too long. I think goblins like to roam around and stake out new places to get more gold or more stuff.
Well, some of them, yeah, but not all the time.
You have those that roam, but you do have those that stay in one area, so they have a place to come back to.
The orc intervenes. A goblin is a goblin. If we see him, we kill him. Simple as.
We should probably not. We should, my dear fellow, I think we should just capture him and perhaps talk to him if we get the chance, if he still attacks us. If he not,
Well,
if he doesn't, we could talk to him.
if we're all asleep, then he'll probably see us before we see them.
That is true.
Anyway, I think the decision is, are we staying in here?
Well, there's room for 3.
For the night,
So,
possibly.
Okay. So. A fire to start is a very simple task and no requirement skill checks needed because you have a sword. That what you need is basically a stick and a sword, and you basically just make this like like you just basically burn the stick until you get a significant good enough torch to just start a fire.
Mhm.
And you start to cook food for each of you so you can eat. So with that being said and done, I have a question.
Mhm.
Because at this very moment, you see Dovkin is still alive,
Oh yeah.
but is still is not awake. Are you gonna give him any food?
How bad is his wound?
Yeah,
Can
I'm just
I
kind
do
of
a
dragging
medicine?
him along.
Roll me a medicine check with advantage because I'm assuming one of you is also
Yeah.
helping. Also remember, if you want to make a check, you can call upon your NPC allies to give you an assist.
Can I possibly just grab some water from the stream and just throw it on and see if maybe that would do anything?
Oh god,
I'm
don't do
dragging him through the
that.
snow.
Wake him up.
I mean, there's no snow at the moment. It's cold, it's wet.
Oh god.
Oh
Oh.
no, it's a 7.
Did you roll with advantage?
Yeah, he rolled.
Yeah.
Oh,
No,
you
no, no,
did.
no, no, no. Oh wait, yeah, he did.
Two
Roll for
I,
threes.
three.
I did it. It was 2 threes.
Oh,
Um,
he fucking did.
well, no, he's alive. But you can see where his chest area is, and a lot, like, basically in his entire chest area, and some parts of his like legs and arms have incredible amount of bruising and a lot of scorch marks of like electrical nature. Um, you don't know what exactly is wrong with him, and you kind of are even surprised to begin with that he's still alive.
Well,
I kind of punch the ground and then like look at the bracelet. Oh my! It could be more useful if this thing wasn't holding me back.
Well, what is the plan, Martin? Because
I mean, we could probably give him water, at least. But it's harder to give food to someone when they're knocked out, especially if it's just cooked meat.
Yeah, yeah. But I'm just saying,
Oh, can I try again to see if I can like patch up or like wrap up any wounds? So
You already made a medicine check.
well, someone else.
Who's gonna do
probably
it?
we should probably cauterize some wounds and probably also mines before I get an infection or something.
Well, let's wrap up the wounds.
I mean,
So they
you
don't
still
get.
have your bed sheet, you have clean water.
I'm gonna turn to the elf and go, I don't suppose you know any medical anything?
Quite on the contrary, actually.
Right.
He kind of just stares you down for him as he says that.
Okay. Well, if you're feeling useful, feel free to let us know. Otherwise, good job. And just give him a thumbs up. Turn away quite awkwardly. I was just thinking, like, I don't understand this elf.
I'm
I
gonna.
think you have to repent for being an ass.
I just call out to the elf. I'm like, if you can help, then come over here and help. Okay, we need to make sure he doesn't get any infections.
As he kind of approaches, are you referring to Dovkin or Chud?
Should probably check Chud too, but I'm talking about Dovkin right now.
One of them's awake.
I mean, Chud's okay. He's still kicking.
The elf kind of let me do a roll on him. Let's see.
I'm
I
gonna.
mean,
Oh, 20.
I'll just.
A 20, okay.
Oh,
You just see the elf just kind of approach the dwarf slowly, just kind of start raising his hands and just kind of feeling his chest until you just suddenly you see him stop like mid-riff and just kind of gently pushing his thumbs and then kind of repress and kind of um ribs broken, probably shattered. Uh, Not coughing blood, so lungs are okay. He kind of shrugs. Don't know what much to say. A miracle that is alive, perhaps?
We should give him water,
Possibly.
and I should
Give
clean
him-
my wounds.
Get some water and also try to clean off his wounds a bit.
There's no Dovkin doesn't have any actual wounds. There's just a lot of bruises, but those bruises are literally black all around his chest. And
Shouldn't it be like burn wounds or something like that? Or no.
their wounds like, have you ever seen someone who got like pictures of a person who survived like a lightning attack, as there's a bunch of like nervous scorch marks, like a tattoo.
Okay. So,
Mhm.
so I'm also like, is he like half cooked or something at this point? Or-
No, I mean, technically he's, well, not cooked. You don't smell anything foul or like burnt. You
like
just
pork.
Yeah, you just fucking no, you just literally see a really fucking banged up person that just kind of breathes heavily, trying to live.
Okay.
Just
We
saying,
should clean him. We should clean him up and give him some water. I
okay,
think that'll be a good idea.
so
Can I find anything that can like hold water? It's like
No hands. Oh,
Yeah, I mean, we're next
Well,
to the stream, so
just drown him. Just
Yeah.
drop him in there.
right,
you suffer burn. Water opposite than burn. Throw in river.
right, right. Just drag him over there, put him face down in the water.
where's the
No.
money, Lebowski? Where's the money, shithead?
All right,
Um,
no,
While everyone's doing that, can I fiddle around with the sword and see if I can get the acid to work again?
Okay. Roll me an intelligence check. I'm gonna go full Pathfinder on the ass. roll me a skill to see if you can roll for another skill.
Just grab your hands, give him some water, clean him up a little bit, and hope for the best.
No.
Right.
He's trying to figure out how to make acid
Yeah.
from the sword come.
Well, we're trying to figure out how water works.
No,
The combined IQ.
you don't need to roll anything. It's simple enough to not drown a person.
Just have to.
Otherwise
Right,
it would be every 6 seconds. Please roll me an intelligence check to remember that you can breathe.
One of the
Oh, you said
One
just
in a row.
intelligence check, right?
breathe.
Okay.
17.
Oh shit! Roll me an insight check.
Okay.
I basically made you do Pathfinder stuff. Roll. Woohoo!
Oh.
Okay. Okay. Now you get all kinds of stuff. So,
Oh, crap.
looking around, and you just kind of like fiddle with the thing and trying to figure out how did it made acid at the very beginning, and then you remember that the sword literally changed what it did, after you all heard the dragon's roar back at the prison. So it's probably not the sword's doing, but the roar of the dragon or the dragon itself. With that high perception, you probably comprehend that probably as you heard the roars on the ground, there's probably a reason why not a single animal, as you were walking earlier today, was near present that location.
Okay.
Right.
Because remember, you saw quite a bit of shadow as the roar began.
All right.
So yeah.
He did like we did and ran.
So with that being said, the fire is going. You're cooking your meats. You're basically, how do I say this? You're not burning, but like slow cooking your fur, so there isn't like that like shitty, meaty, oily sensation inside of it. So fast standing with fire, it's not gonna be fun, but it's better than just being sticked on all the time. Anybody's guarding. Guarding the
Like at all, or during all that stuff.
no. As you're all preparing, who's gonna guard? Who's gonna
Um,
take the first watch to sleep while everybody sleeps and rotate? You
I'm
know, the usual D&D stuff.
I'm happy to take the first one.
The only thing we have seen is elks and a family of foxes. I think we're gonna be fine, to be honest.
Hmm.
And we
I-
don't even have that much. They can't steal much
I mean, they
from
can
us.
they can murder us if they feel like it. I don't know.
Yeah, but we don't have anything. They don't have the incentive to do that.
I just looking I'm like you're not used to roughing it, are you?
Of course not.
Okay, I request that because we could only fit 3 people in the little hovel, that Doff can be in there, seeing as he literally might get eaten if he's out here.
Right.
I'm happy to take the first watch if someone wants to come after me.
I'll take watch also.
I suppose I'll take final watch.
I mean, I only need 4 hours for rest. So.
Hmm.
Yeah, decide. You have an elf. Also, you can call upon the orc and the elf. Did you?
You want to try
I-
talking to the
Also, I love the fact that you still haven't like told your names.
Right. We still haven't
Hey.
introduced ourselves.
Yeah, it's been a while.
We've been busy.
I mean, it's one thing after another. I mean, first escape, then food.
Yeah.
Then a 6-hour quiet walk in the woods.
Right.
Yeah.
Well,
Through
we were
very
tracking down
creepy woods.
food.
And then murderous elk.
We have a fire that'll protect us against any bad wildlife. We'll probably be fine.
So
I roll my eyes at him. When
So
he says that.
So to paint a perspective, real quickly, you're basically by the by the river, well, almost by the river, near the tree line, by the hovel. Just made a campfire and basically had this joint place. As the hovel is one way, and it's quite a good place to set up camp. So. If I get this correctly, pleasantries will have to wait again. Because nobody wants to say anything about themselves, which is I feel like you're all prisoners. So
And I mean, have people just gone to sleep when they're not on watch?
I'm on watch. Yeah.
well, technically, Warren, if you're the first to watch, please roll me a perception check.
Perception. That's perception, not passive perception.
Yes. Ever since you basically start to make your way following the elk tracks, you cannot shake that sensation that you are being watched by something. But in the middle of the night, that feeling just suddenly feels amplified.
Mm.
But you don't see anything out of the ordinary. Majority of the forest is asleep, except for occasional birds, a distant creek. Everything is calm, peaceful, and nothing of interest happens for you. So,
Right. Well, I will stay alert for the entirety of my watch, and then once I'm kind of finishing up, who is the next person?
I'll take next.
I will relay my concerns to you. I'll say that nothing happened during the watch, but it's not a very comfortable night.
It never is.
yeah.
Well,
Mm.
good night then. Please don't let us be murdered in our sleep and all that. And then I'll retire.
Okay. So, uh, please, roll me perception. Also, just FYI for everybody, you're all well fed and you are now toasty because you're sleeping by the fire and/or in the gravel. Yeah. So you're all a-okay survival wise. Okay.
We are surviving, not living.
Yeah. Surviving ain't living, my good sir.
Yeah.
So
Damn.
10 minutes pass after you basically start your watch overlooking the surroundings. Everything is quiet. Not too quiet, like you hear the usual nighttime beasts just mind their business. You hear the owl's hoot, you hear an occasional woodpecker picking a distant tree that echoes, the rushing water. And then all of a sudden you just have this, like, a notion, like a sensation, like an instinctual sensation that someone is just looking at you.
I'm looking around. I'm scanning, trying to catch anything out of the ordinary.
I was about to say. So you try to basically surmise what the hell might be looking at you, and the more time passes, the more intent the look is, until like good hour and a half later from the beginning, you realize that one of the owls just kind of glaring at you, just staring you down and just watching, like from one of the treetops. From the opposite side of the river, on a pine tree about 45 feet up.
I walk to the edge of the river stream and looking at the owl, and I just you got a problem?
You see the owl just kind of twist its head slightly.
I just look at the face like, I'd be able to understand it without this thing. I just look back up at him like, well, don't worry, we'll be moving on as soon as the sunrise.
The owl just intently looks at you. and then just as soon as you keep that like intent looks, and then as your eyes again meet, it begins to fly further south. Just takes off and goes south.
Hmm. He has the right idea. I say that to myself.
And ominously enough, as you come back to by the campfire and put another stick or a branch, the sensation of you being watched just slowly fades away into nothingness. Uh, so another 2 hours pass, and from the hovel comes the depressed elf that kind of sits down opposite to you, just kind of gives a wave, kind of looks at the fire.
So I don't think we properly introduced ourselves. You can call me Jin, and you are?
He kind of looks at the river, kind of looks back at you. A pleasure. They call me the Prince.
Prince?
For the all wrong reasons.
Interesting. So, tell me, I think you've said it before, but how did you end up in that place?
Roll me a persuasion check.
Okay. Oh, that is the wrong number. Oh,
Give me a second. Oh shit! Ah, boy. Kind of looks back at you, then looks at the fire. A good half a minute passes, and he kind of gives a long sigh. Oh. I was a cleric of the Morning Star Monastery. Quite good at it, to be honest. And, well, how do I say this? I've been interested in a girl for quite a while, only to be revealed that the girl was a princess that was about to marry off. Her father found out, and I was nicknamed the Prince. And before I even got the chance to defend myself, darkness, and I ended up here, no longer able to commune with my God. I thought this was just punishment, but I guess he kind of shows you the bracelet just passively. I guess there's a chance that that not might be.
it's not. I'm looking at him and looking at the bracelet also. No. Someone wanted you out of the way. Possibly this girl's father. I don't know what's going on, but whatever this is, it's got a lot of pull for them to just be able to kidnap all of us just out of nowhere. One thing is for sure, your god has not abandoned you. You've just been cut off. And I motion towards the bracelet again.
But Lavender, I hope you're right. Anyway, you can go back in. I'll wait it out.
All right.
So you go in and go get your sleep. Hours pass as Warren, Chud, Julie, and you can eventually wake up in the morning. You hear the snoring of the orc. You see the glaring lights of the morning sky. You see Dovkin still breathing, and you kind of see the prince, I guess now I can call him, just tending a half-alive fire that is just somewhat still burning.
Good day, gentlemen. I think I slept on a root. Oh, crap.
I'm going to mention the creepy owl that was staring us down last night.
Ah,
I believe it's one of the possible things that was given the bad feeling.
odd.
It flew down south following this stream or river, whatever it is.
It's not by any chance this was some kind of familiar and someone was actually watching us.
I wouldn't put it past them. Owls are usually used by wizards and such spellcasters.
Yeah. Or I hope they are not gonna be a nuisance to us. Just yeah.
Voram is
Dudes are always a nuisance.
Voram is quite concerned by the idea of the owl being a familiar, but he's kind of going to put on a brave face and then kind of walk on out and say, "Well, we're not going to get turned around by an owl, are we?
Of course
I don't
not.
fancy walking all the way back up."
I fear mostly that it might be one of the agents of that place, trying to keep tabs on us.
Well, unless we can outrun an owl, I think we're just going to have to live with the fact they're watching us for now.
Yes.
I mean, I got a
Or
rock.
unless
if
someone
we
has a
see
very
that.
good rock throwing arm.
Yeah,
I mean, we made
a
a
bag full of
bow
rocks, yeah.
from tendons and tree branches. Yeah, I just need to make some makeshift arrows.
So,
Be sticks, system.
just for anybody who is keeping track, write down that you still have only 11 rations left. So, you know.
Let me write that.
All of you are well fed and you're chill because the morning is cold, but it's, well, it's chilly. So, from the guessing, you would assume it's probably like 8 to 9 p.m. A.M. My bad. I always mix
Day.
it. Yes, you just wake up at middle of the night. Yeah.
Wow.
So
Um,
it is up to you to decide what would you like to do now.
Well, I guess we should not keep them waiting, shall we?
We're going to continue down south or southwest.
I think we should continue south because we're not going to outrun the owl. And at least if we're following the river, we have water, and it means we're not like climbing through the underbrush so much.
Probably eventually find some kind of civilization.
Hmm.
I really want this thing off.
Right.
As we're walking, can I pick up maybe a small twig and try and shove it under the bracelet and see if I can find anything?
Okay. You try to shift the bracelet and you just feel pain. You can't even try to like feel a stick. You feel like it's just hitting more metal under it.
Oh.
So
Okay.
the course is set south following the river.
Mm-hmm.
Alrighty, roll me a d10, anybody. Let's see.
Right, I guess I'll go again.
Yeah, I rolled the last two. Okay.
Alrighty.
Low numbers better.
It depends on the time and the situation you're at. At this moment, it's interesting. So the path of the river curves ever so slightly, but most of the time remains on the same path. And all of you just suddenly feel like there's a sudden like slow drop, like you're again going downhill. And all of you, a good 2 hours in, start to feel this sensation of getting watched to the point that even the orc just kind of points it out. That something is not right, and he kind of not like he has his like the swords on hand, but he didn't like activate them. He's just kind of looking around.
We should not appear
I
as hostiles.
want to look around, perceive, and I especially look see if I can spot the owl. That same owl, but perception.
So yeah, everybody roll perception, my dudes. Let's go.
Try to hide from me.
That's not correct. Why did I do that? There we are. Beautiful.
Oh god. Again, looking up and just scanning the familiar pine trees looking for an owl. You spot 3 owls looking at you. Just looking at separate people, just kind of looking with interest. And they have this, how do I say this? This brownish golden look, like fur or feathers, I guess, about them as they kind of observe you. Julie, you scout the surrounding area, just like your vision of like the tree works, and then you just see an owl bear. Not you just see an owl just standing, what seems to be on a bush, just standing like very low to the ground, which you find it really awkward until the owl slowly rises up and reveals 2 eyes of an owl bear as it kind of stands up on its twos and just kind of grips the tree and just kind of shreds the bark and just looks at you intently.
Make a sound.
Gentlemen, your little owls seem less of a problem now. Check this out.
The owl standing intimidating, but it's not attacking. It's not growling, just staring you down.
We should, gentlemen, we should slowly back off, I think.
Are you meant to? Are you meant to back off from an owl bear? What's the rules on owl bears?
You want to roll a nature check to find out?
I don't know if
Yeah.
my guy would even know that, but
Yeah.
yeah, sure, why not? Maybe I've learned some trivia.
You
Yeah, some
people
fucking
are
some
the
that
nature
will,
folk.
yeah, nature.
Right.
My nature's
I-
not good either.
I'm just standing there at the ready, just staring the owl bear down.
Yeah, the orc is also preparing.
Didn't roll that.
The prince is in the center just minding his business. Fucking Dovkin is still unconscious, chilling.
He's still being dragged around.
Yeah, I just imagine you just literally like drag him like tied like a rope like around his ankles.
There we
You
go.
literally. Okay.
Don't know why it delayed so long. Do the first one.
Damn it.
10.
You know for the fact the first thing you need to do is not be there when you see an owl bear.
Alright, okay.
But just looking at it, like looking at the owl bear, something is just off, because on top of the owl bear's head there's just an owl staring you down, and then the owl bear just kind of goes on all fours and just proceeds to go further south into the tree line, and all the owls just begin to take flight, also go south. What would you like to do?
Right.
I do believe this was an invitation.
If
Uh,
if you say so, good madam. Sure.
They are definitely letting us know that they have eyes on us.
I just kind of look around. No one's suspicious of this.
Prince just says, "Can we just go backwards?"
Oh, I'm highly suspicious of it. But it does appear that we're being invited.
And the orc just growls at you, saying, "If they attack us, more food, right? Right? Right?"
Well,
He kind of looks
Or-
at you for an answer. Sort of like flabbergasted.
Or just frowns deeply.
well, if they attack, we must defend ourselves.
Okay, so into the owl's nest we go then.
Like you
Right.
can go anywhere you want. Nobody says go south.
Voram is not very happy about it, but if everyone else wants to, he will.
I mean, we could cross the stream and go east or west. Like,
We outrun a bear and some owls.
We're not going backwards, but we can veer off and go.
Yeah, nobody's
or
stopping
west.
you. A decision needs to be made. Let's go.
What are we gonna do? Are we going to the obvious invitation and continue south, or are we going to veer off east or west?
Do we have the option of going south and not taking the invitation?
You don't know
I mean,
you don't know
Or are they
where the
one
south
and the
goes.
same?
You don't know where the south goes. They kind of head downstream. Like the owl bear just goes in the direction of south through the tree lines, with the owl on its head still, while the owls just kind of took off and just go downstream. So you don't know if it's directly south or.
I mean, we want to logically keep going south, following the river.
Yes.
It's most likely to take us to civilization. But
all I know is that the more we go south, the more we're seeing these owls are making themselves known, and now an owl bear.
owl dragon.
Laughs nervously.
Oh no, not the owl dragons.
So, if we continue south, we're gonna run into something, all right. Whether it's civilization or more owl bears.
Owls.
Hoot hoot, motherfucker.
Welcome to the
Yes.
hood.
Most
Don't make these jokes. I think we might offend some of them. I don't know.
what I know is that most owl bears they go in twos. There are at least two of them. So if there's one, there's another one somewhere nearby.
So yeah, a decision needs to be made. Give me a few seconds. I'll be right back. So decide. So remember, the orc said if we need to fight him, that's more food, while the prince is a coward and he wants to turn back. So decide.
Right. I almost slapped him for saying let's go backwards.
Although
Yes,
Vorum is very
I'm-
unhappy about the idea of these owls, he does want to keep going south. So whether we
I'm
actually
very much for the idea of keeping that prison to our back. I say we go south also.
South it is then.
Mhm.
I still want this thing off my wrist. I'm not gonna stop complaining.
Do you think the owls are gonna get it off you? They're like shiny things.
Like he's an elf, you know. Jin's an elf. He's a fae. He can't stand being cut off from his magic.
South it is then. Very reluctantly.
Back. So, what's the consensus, my good sirs?
We're going south.
Alrighty. Whoa!
Roughly how deep is the river that we're following?
How deep the river is?
Yeah, roughly.
Yeah.
It is about 5 to 6 and occasionally 8 feet of width, and it's about. You can see clearly to the bottom, so you would assume, and just by sticking your like a stick, 4 to 5, but occasionally 6 feet. And this whole stream, like you realize that you're basically walking on a giant riverbed that just got like how do I say this, shrunken, I guess, to a very small line comparatively. So 10 minutes pass, and the river curves towards west, just like almost like not a super sharp, but it's like over like a half a minute you just see that there's a sudden just like shift west. But going as you see where it goes, and you're looking south where you meant to go, there is, how do I say this? There's a path that is you sense that it's either was man-made or it's unnatural by nature, because it gives like the sensation of like a single grass pathway that just goes for hundreds of yards with no end.
I'm checking for tracks.
You don't
On this
even need to
pathway.
roll. You spot the owlbear tracks.
Oh,
Quite a few of them actually.
yeah, knew it. I point that out to everyone.
The prince just kind of steps forward. See, they need to go. They went that way. We can go. We can go to west towards the river. No need to go there, right?
Wow,
Probably should.
we can
Should
keep
we
following the
follow?
river, which is going to the west now. I was about to say going left. It's going west. I don't think we're in a position to take on several owl bears.
Absolutely not.
See, we can go follow the river and just pretend like we didn't see those owls.
Indeed.
Just look at the ground.
You just see a fucking paw print that is the size of your head. Like, yeah, nothing to see here.
That's a very weird looking elk.
Hmm.
Jeez, don't say elk, then you'll get the orc wanting to follow the tracks.
That's a very weird, non-edible looking, unworthy opponent.
That's really weird water elemental tracks. I never seen those.
So our option is obey the bear owl, owl bear. There we go. Got there eventually. Or veer off.
Or just go east, I guess. Nobody's stopping you to go there.
I say veer off. I do not think we should be in a place with multiple owlbears.
Definitely. And besides, we wouldn't want to go if there's more than two.
We will be at the person's mercy.
We
Do
will.
we want to do that?
We know. I know for a fact owlbears, especially if they have a family around, they will fight to the death.
So, I have a question. Are you just having this argument while like by the crossroad, I guess?
We're trying to keep our voice down as much as possible. Very aware that the owls are watching, but
Yeah.
I-
As soon as you like, as you're having this argument, I guess Gen has the highest passive perception. You just feel that presence of being watched again. As as an owl just makes its way from this grass laid corridor in the forest, it just makes its way towards you, just flying about 10 foot from the ground, just flying towards all of you, and eventually just rising to the closest pine trees to all of you as a group and just kind of stares you down.
can we help you? We're having a bit of a private discussion.
It just kind of twists its head.
I thought owls could hear very well.
Freaking thing.
Turns back to everyone else. So, I
So,
think it's time to make a decision.
So the owl, at least that one, is waiting for us to go that way. So let's go this way.
Wait, which way is that way?
We're following the river. We're going west.
One vote west. What does everyone else want?
Orcus just kind of looks at the owl intently, just kind of glaring at it. Prince is like, yeah, we should definitely go west. West is like the option. We need the river, right? Water.
Yes.
Look, I mean, it's keep going south, where the river stops and goes a different direction. Who knows where we'll end up? Keep following the river. Someone says that it'll lead us to civilization eventually. Go backwards, or go towards the creepy owls and the owlbears.
I do not.
I'm all for following the river. I've always heard follow the river leads to civilization. So that's my vote. Follow the river.
Voram's gonna nod at that and say, in my line of work, while I like to be able to trust people, in my own experience, mysterious benefactors, especially those who communicate through small animals, are usually not the best choice. So I vote not the owls.
Agreed.
As soon as you say that, the owl descends to the ground level, like next to the corridor. It just kind of looks at you looks at all of you, and it kind of takes flight and continues down the hallway on its own.
That's not a clear invitation. I don't know what it is.
Mr. Owl, Mr. Owl. I'll try and get it to turn around, and I'll tap on my wrist and then tilt my head.
Wait.
Look.
You're gonna do what now?
I'm gonna try and get the owl's attention, and if I can, I'm gonna tap on my wrist where the thing is, the bracelet, and then tilt my head questioningly to see if it makes any acknowledgement.
I think you're thinking of a falcon
Mhm.
or a hawk.
I'm hoping it'll
Roll,
give me some indication if it understands that this thing needs to come off.
roll me a perception
Okay.
check. Not perception, persuasion.
Animal handling? No perspective. Oh. Let's see. Persuasion?
Persuasion.
Okay.
Persuasion to persuasion. Ow.
You did this to yourself, kid.
um,
Dang.
it as soon as you kind of try to get its attention, it kind of almost like without wasting any space, it literally does a 180 and then kind of flies towards you, and kind of maintains flight about 2 feet above you, just looking at the bracelet, and then kind of looking at you.
I'll keep
Do you
tapping on
want
the
it?
bracelet.
We're happy to give them away.
That then kind of looking at all of you and eyeing all of your bracelets, and it kind of makes its way through the corridor.
Right.
Yeah.
I still don't have much faith
Mhm.
in small animals that stalk you through the woods and watch you sleep, but I also am not very keen on this, and I tap the bracelet. So either
Yeah.
it's luring us into a...
Everybody roll perception.
Oh no.
Oh, there we go.
I have got
I
the
mean-
alert feat.
Okay, Julie. You're like, I don't trust these individuals. And then you just first the one to hear just a bunch of rocks just like clash to each other. You turn back to the way you came and you see that owl bear you spotted quite a while ago with the owl still on top of its head, embedded, not embedded like grown in, but it's like it's sticking on it and just kind of walking towards you, not like running or charging. The owlbear is literally just making its way towards the corridor.
Well, we have a decision. Are we leaving or... Because this thing's coming.
Oh no! It is coming fast, but it's not coming at you. It's coming towards the corridor. You could try to stand in the corridor and see what happens.
I say much quietly to everyone else, well, this is either an ambush to get us arrested, or it's someone who probably maybe wants these off. Maybe, hopefully.
Yes, but
Or, again, they could be agents of that facility they're in, but they know about these bracelets and they
You still
want
got that
us.
coin. Do you want to flip it?
You want to flip it? Okay, I'll flip the coin.
That's just an option. I'm just saying.
Okay. So I need to tell you then what head and tails are. The head is of a young man, but there is no like actual name. You don't like. There's no thing. And in the other side is an older version of the Doran Empire symbol.
Okay.
Okay, so
I'm gonna roll a d2. One will be heads, two will be tails.
and heads is what? Leave down the river, and
Right.
tails is corridor.
Heads we leave. Tails we.
Are people good for this? Because if we all just want to leave, we'll do that.
I mean, I mean,
while you're having this argument, you just see this fucking 12-foot long and about 6-foot tall owlbear just kind of walk past you casual with this owl on its head. And
Give a
just
little nod.
and he literally just
Yeah.
walks by to the point that the orc just kind of tries to step in, like between him and the corridor, and then the owlbear just growls, and the orc literally just he shows no fear, but he just scoots back from the corridor.
Right. He knows better. He knows better.
As you see the owlbear making its way through the corridor.
So it's making its way out the court towards us or past.
It made past you and made its way towards the corridor of the grass that you're debating, are you want to go in or not.
Okay, so are we gonna leave this on a coin flip, or are we gonna decide?
Decide.
I would recommend we just leave and go the other way instead of here.
Well, that's one for leave. Anyway.
Well,
Trying
I
to think
mean,
of
we've seen no
All right, I'm flipping the coin. It's two.
Do you get in?
Okay,
Do you get
I
in?
honor the coin. I will honor the coin, and I just start walking toward
I'll
the
honor the
Alright.
coin.
house.
All right,
I
we're
remember-
going.
Although then again, the coin of a duke who probably got murdered by goblins might not be the best, most lucky thing ever.
Yeah.
But okay.
So, what's the marching order? Let's fucking go.
Okay, so
I find everything okay. We just want to leave now.
I'll go first since I
no,
suggested the coin.
No, I'll go first since I've
Alright.
got the perception. I can keep my eyes open.
The orc would be basically almost shoulder to shoulder to you with his weapons drawn but not like activated.
Alright.
The prince would like to be in the middle as much as he can.
Good for him. And I imagine that they're behind what Dawkins dragging him in the back.
Yeah.
So we got again Orc Prince. I can go in the middle if you want.
Yes, I'll go towards the middle also.
Okay. So got your marching order. So
I really didn't want that to light on it too.
So, the first thing you all sense, going the first minute and a half or so, it is a lot more warmer than it is by the river, like really toasty warm. And it's nice, but also it's kind of in like on the nerves, because that sensation of you getting watched is incredibly present, as basically looking at to the sides you see almost one, like every 2 or 3 trees, just an owl just staring you down as you walk by. You see quite a few owl bears as well, minding their own business, but kind of stop and just kind of stare you down. Any comments of any nature? Just like any observations, any like things I want to do.
Really dislike all this. Why did we choose to
All
come here?
these judging looks, I feel like we're in the court of owls.
Council will decide our fate.
Well, I don't. Did any of us have courts to send us to the previous jail?
Oh,
Maybe this is a better fate.
I'm just continue walking forward, but like I'm looking in every direction but like my head is straight, so I'm looking, peering, just keeping. If Eddie makes a sudden move,
So, the sudden, just like moving, being cautious, seeing if anything like is out of the ordinary or something might just out of nowhere just pull up and just whack you with a claw is not not the best ordeal. Uh, but all of you sudden just feel this pulsing motion in your head for a split second. And all of you just feel this sensation of nausea just kind of wash over you for a second and just stop.
um, did we just walk through something?
Uh, as
Possibly.
you look behind, you see there's nothing, no longer a path to go backwards, but just a bunch of trees.
Yeah.
What?
I just shake my head. Yep, we just walked through something.
We are definitely screwed. Oh dear. Oh god. Why is this?
Okay. So now I can change the music. So,
Horror music
Huh?
intensifies.
Dark Souls boss music.
Yeah.
so
Please no. We're not ready for a Dark Souls boss yet.
why do I hear boss music?
Giant.
So the owls escalate to being from 1 to 2, 3, like 2 to 3 trees, to basically being several dozen on
Oh.
each tree, almost weighing the branches down.
Gentlemen, we have definitely took a wrong turn.
I took a wrong turn at Albuquerque.
As you continue to make the path,
We're not
the
in Kansas anymore, gentlemen.
there is no more grass but moss, and you start to feel something extremely hard and woody beneath the moss.
Hmm.
As
Oh dear. No.
uh, as the moss stops and you find yourself walking on bark. As the seemingly endless amount of trees ends and reveals an open, as you walk through it, you see that you're basically on a large branch in this ginormous tree in the middle of fuck knows where. You look downwards to the side of the branch you're walking. You don't see the bottom. All you see is darkness.
Right.
The woods of Moria.
Wonderful.
Uh,
Well, we've gone this far. Might as well see it to the end.
Well, I don't think we even have a
Got to see
choice
it
at
through,
this
my
point.
boys. Got to see it through.
So, there is a lot of owls flying about. No other creature is present, but there's also no owl bears. And all of them, all of them are centered around like the center of the tree, which looks like a hauled out, I don't know, uh a den of sorts, like a giant ass building that has these small pixies flying around. Um so as you enter this place, you just see from bottom to roof of this 300 feet long, 500 feet wide, and about half, like 500 feet tall building. Just a bunch of small, how do I say this? not, I guess, like a smaller branches, but they're almost like saplings that a bunch of owls just sitting on. And this whole wooden construction inside of this tree is less of wood, more of owl feathers and birds. And every single owl are centered the middle, where this massive owl-like creature stays there about 60 feet tall, its eyes closed, and everybody's patiently waiting for something. What would you like to do?
sh-
Well,
I will lean over towards Vorum and just whisper, "Oh, this is going to be a hoot."
Mr. Silver,
The
please
pain
no.
that crosses Vorum's face.
Well, you just fucking hear snipers hoot in the distance. So
Do we disturb the owl collective?
no, no, but
I chuckle at that.
you can see Princess literally freaking the fuck out, like,
Same.
I put a calming hand on his shoulder. Say, relax, Prince.
Okay.
How can you even relax? There is a we're surrounded by bears and owls. How can this be better?
If they wanted to do something, don't you think they would have had plenty of opportunities to swarm us?
Oh, now they indeed have enough time and enough place. We're literally in their den.
Well, they wanted us here. They wanted us to come here for a reason.
The reason could just as well be dinner time. Sure.
Then why hadn't the owlbear just attacked us when it had the chance?
Oh, it's easier to have your meal walk into your den than carry it.
That?
Delivery to your doorstep.
Stream is sponsored by DoorDash. Let's go.
Creepily watching you as you sleep.
A few seconds, I'll be right back. Because I gotta. Yeah, give me a second.
So,
decide.
what are we doing with the owls?
I mean, there's the giant owl that's sleeping, or it hasn't noticed us yet. So,
does no? I guess not.
I mean, the only thing is we can either wait until it's ready to wake up, or somebody can prod it
off gently.
We'll cast Mage Hand and attempt to poke it.
Oh no!
Except you don't have access to Mage Hand.
You're definitely screwed.
And that is why I do it. Because I don't have access and it doesn't matter.
I mean, you could take one of those sharp rocks and throw it.
Boy.
It's sort of like Mage Hand.
Oh yeah, I probably should give a. Remember Mr. K? How I told you he made Xark? He also made art for this one. Based on a real-life harpy owl. You see this 60-foot owl creature. It's only shutter the fucking wings, and every single owl in the vicinity goes silent. You see its pristine yellow eyes gaze upon you, staring at you for a moment.
Well, hello, beautiful.
I'm going to do a slight bow.
I nearly choked. Fuck. You wanna roll me for? You wanna seduce the owl god?
Please no.
I mean,
oh no, I'm not trying to seduce it. I'm just trying to compliment it.
Okay.
Yeah, I do a bow to the owl.
Good day. What did you normally say towards an owl?
Hoots it
Good
Good
going.
day, good day, good day, my good sir.
Usually you say, "How do you do?" But that's besides the point. He flaps
And
his
who
wings
are
again.
you?
I, my pristine fella, am Akver, god of owls, god of wisdom, god of cunning. Pleasure to make your
Akver.
acquaintance.
Pleasure
Likewise.
We don't get many visitors in our mortal plane, piece of heaven. So I was curious what brought you all the way into these woods.
Well, we weren't brought here by choice.
Wrongful
Right.
imprisonment would be my answer. Wrongful imprisonment.
So you come from the Deadlands.
Seems so.
You know of these deadlands?
Uh, the the owl god steps down from its contraption in the middle and starts to walk around you, and you just see a lot of owls just kind of flying up and just avoiding him at all cost. As it kind of stares you down and just says, "I know quite a few things of the Deadlands. Like no soul can stay there for long. Otherwise driven insane and mad."
Guess we are lucky in that regard.
Well, as you can see, we are rather happy. So, good signs.
Are you?
Happy.
As
Things could be improved.
he says, "Are you?" As he kind of moves his right wing, and you just see an owl immediately just fucking deck Julie in its arm, where the armband is.
I mean,
I don't flinch.
It,
all things considered, things could be better. I look down at
I
my
look.
armband and hold up.
it
I'm looking
appears.
at.
It appears you're branded. Branded by a bunch of dead souls. That is.
And
If
how would we remove this brand?
yes,
I have many ways, painless and painful. Question is, what can you offer me in return?
Well, I can offer you performance if you have an instrument for me to play. I am a performer. I'd be glad to entertain you.
As much as it would amuse me, I am looking for other kinds of benefits.
I am afraid we have very little on us right now to offer you, but we
I
could
look.
perhaps offer us some service in the future.
What is it that you want? You want something from us.
I don't need food, since this land bears plenty. I don't need company, since I'm the god of owls and any mate is my game. But what I do desire is information. Information on my neighbors.
Of course, we can give you some information. What do you require?
Its eyes immediately dart uh, westward as a bunch of feathers start to just collapse midair and just kind of stop, revealing this large, grotesque entity, fairly humanoid, extremely long legs, um, and extremely long arms with extremely long fingers. Um, a face of like an older, like really old grandmother with this twisted, crooked smile. This is the one I seek. She is sort of my neighbor, but more like an enemy in disguise. Find me information that would be crucial to me and devastating to her, and I will reward you plentiful.
Could you start by removing these bands so that we may work freely?
Roll me a persuasion check.
Can I assist in that?
Sure.
Plus 80.
Whoo! Wait, again, is that a fucking
Yep.
27?
Yep.
You lucky son of a bitch. The owl pauses for a moment, overlooking all of you. Very well. Choose one of your companions and I will break its bond with the tainted soul that it holds.
Okay.
I point to Julie.
I look around. I suppose. Is anyone else adequate in healing? All right. And I'll put out my arm.
I have a +4.
Not with magic, I'm afraid.
Okay. Oh yeah. Oh wait. Prince also raises his hand when you say it about healing.
Oh, yes. I forgot to mention, Prince is a cleric.
Yeah. Also, presumably that it would need some sort of restoration magic. Just would require regions for it. He kind of raises his hand, like haphazardly.
Okay, so
I
So what
have
are we doing?
little to no magic to offer, so I think it should not be me.
I mean, I have some magic.
I am all about getting this off my wrist, so I believe
And
my
I-
opinion shouldn't be counted here. I will let you guys decide.
I want this thing off.
It is up to you. Prince is a cleric. Julie is a bard.
Okay, so you're choosing one of them to break this.
Do
it.
you have spells? Again.
Okay, wait. I'm confused. Wait, what are we doing?
Yeah,
Sorry, I was asking, do you, as the ranger, have spells?
Does.
I do have spells. Yes.
So the choice is between, because I imagine Chudwell also, like me, doesn't have many. Is that right?
I don't have any magic. Don't have any magic, no.
Oh, okay. So yeah, he has none. I have very, very little. So it is a case of a bard, a ranger, or a cleric.
Okay. And what are we trying to see again? We're trying to see
Who will have
Which one of
the brand removed, and thus they're able to access magic again.
Okay. who needs more access to their magic? Well, Julie, how many spells do you have?
Or what kind of spells are you able to cast? Well, usually.
Dovkin?
Hmm.
Dovkin is unconscious.
Oh no,
but-
no, not Dovkin.
No, we said Julie.
Oh, Julie.
Dovkin, just keeps him. What you got? Got anything? Nah, he's fine.
Dovkin is over there still snoring. He's still sleeping.
I'm sure he would have been selfless and allowed someone else to have it.
Well,
Well,
I was.
well, for me, mostly it's my words that are healing. Beyond that, I'm very supportive, and I can debuff those around me or very much enhance anyone in need.
Okay.
I would say it's probably between Julie and Prince. My spells will help my ranger abilities.
Um, do I
So,
also say what I can do?
Yes.
yes, Prince. What can you once you have your connection back to your deity?
Question is if I have, but if I did, I cured people of illness and sickness. I mended people's wounds. I restored the people back to life. He kind of squints his eyes and then like shakes his head a little. Quite a
Vorum's
lot.
gonna listen to that and then say, with all respect to Prince, if his abilities are dependent on both the removal of the brand and his god's approval, and I do not mean to insult you and say that your god does not approve of your actions, it is a certain bet to instead go for, perhaps, Julie.
I would say Julie. She would be able to give more support. Um, my magic is wicked, but it's self-service more than group service.
Julie's is perhaps more varied.
He kind of, Prince kind of nods. All right.
I'm sorry, love. And I'll hold up my arm.
Okay. Um. So you just see the owl's eyes go from intense yellowish to full golden, hiding its iris. Its black iris under the light. As your golem begins to heat up, please roll me 4100.
Oh god.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Okay.
Did you say 40?
No, 4.
Oh, 4. I thought you said 40.
Still seems like a lot, man.
One hundred, 100, 100, 100.
Nice. So,
Oh, okay.
so. A single small feather flies from the owl god as if caught by wind towards your bracelet. At its impact starts to begin this chain reaction of the whole column start to crack. But with each crack there's a puff of black smoke that puffs from the gauntlet itself. With each crack, with each cling and clang, Julie, you start to hear voices, screams, pleads for endless suffering to end. Mothers asking for their children, children looking for their fathers, soldiers screaming out orders, calling out if anybody can hear them. With each crack, you hear countless of voices, counting by the hundreds, until all of them start to scream intently as the final bond of the gauntlet just snaps and breaks off completely and just drops onto the floor.
Oh my.
Julie, you now see your wrist where it was is now just covered with small, tiny, needle-sized puncture wounds, and it just starts to bleed like from all sides, like just like small bleeding holes from all sides. It's not severe or anything, but just like your wrist is now just bleeding out slowly. Um, the the bracelet hitting the ground starts to contort on itself and become this grayishly black until it just becomes this greenish ooze and just starts to dissipate into this blackish smoke.
Well, that is unsettling. And that's on all of you guys, too. I am so sorry.
Don't remind us.
So, the Old God ends its incantation and then kind of looks at all of you.
That was indeed something.
Now prove your end of the bargain.
Of course. You say they are to the west. There's quite a lot to the west. Do you ever need more specific directions?
She'll find you.
Oh, wonderful.
I don't think that's a good thing. Is
Of
it?
course.
Now go, as he kind of extends his wing towards the door as it swings back open. And a bunch of owls just fly out, almost emptying the entire vicinity of the room. And as you look back to the owl god, it just disappeared. There's nothing.
He's gone. Question: is there any feathers like that I can
A lot.
collect?
There's feathers by the thousands. There's
All right.
Yes, I'll pick up a couple of handfuls.
I'm good. Yeah, because I'm gonna need to make some nation. Okay.
I can help if you like. Grab some more.
so,
Yes, grab enough. Just-
So you are now left in just the room. Are you gonna exit away like through the branch?
I'm not gonna anger the god by
Before-
refusing.
Before anything else happens, I'm going to turn to our injured dwarf, kneel down and say, please, we need you to feel just a little bit better, and cast Healing Word.
yeah.
At which level and roll the hit dice. Heal dice.
Wonder.
Come on, dude, make it. The light. Well, first of all, good news, Julie. You can cast spells again. Good on you. Clappa, clappa, clappa. Bad news is, even though you healed him, and you can see he looks a bit more better, he's still not waking up.
He's in some kind of coma. Oh dear.
Maybe. I mean, he did take a beating.
He did.
Yeah. So, that being said and done, guessing exiting out.
Yeah.
We're heading out, seeing the bracelet off of Julie and seeing her heal. I'm ready to go. I'm ready to get this thing off me.
Alrighty. So, yeah, making your way back through the same pathway. You. Second. feel a nauseating sensation again, and suddenly everything becomes a bit more colder. So you continue to walk back the path, and eventually you do make back to the riverbed. The pathway is still there, and let me just quickly do this. So you're technically out. The pathway is still there. It doesn't change or anything. It looks still like the endless pathway you walked in. Still there. So yeah, you're back on the track. What would you like to do?
Right.
I think we should probably do what the
Continue.
other plan was, which is continue down south with the river. Because we do probably want to find.
Yeah, I mean the river goes west.
No.
Oh, sorry,
The
west.
river's going west, and the owl god wants us to go west. So we're
think we're going west, though.
going in the.
Guess we'll go on west.
So
We're going because if this thing is able to take that bracelet off, because it seems a little more difficult than just trying to get a blacksmith to saw it off.
Indeed, it seems to be.
So, with that being said, roll me a d10.
All right, he's getting it this time.
Yeah, who wants to roll? Voram, Chad, do you want to roll?
What?
I'm
The
happy to do
D10.
it, but if Julie wants to do it.
Or go ahead.
1d10, yeah?
Yeah. Oh,
Oh, I didn't do the 1d10.
okay. So, about good 2 hours of travel as the journey west leads you to this crossroad. So you have come across a crossroad now of the river, as the river actually splits into a treeway, which the river now goes south, but it also continues on west, but the west part is against the stream, as you see that there's like a, I guess, uphill stream that's going downwards and pushes the stream south. So question is, where do you wanna go? And as for the 9, you start to hear a distant thunder, and a bunch of clouds start to gather at the horizon. Rain or something worse might happen soon.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, lovely.
Also, it has been over 3 hours. Are you still good to continue?
I believe Chadwell has to go.
Yeah?
Chadwell.
So like I said,
I think this is a good stopping point.
Yeah, I think it's a good place.
yeah, okay.
So the clouds rolling in on the horizon.
Yes.
We're in a fork type of split.
Yeah.
So, good spot to stop.
Yeah. Also, you got a bracelet off. So, with that being said, I guess session 2 is officially over. So you got exactly 10 seconds to say whatever you want before shut this stream down with no survivors.
We're continuing the speed run, getting all of them undone immediately.
Yeah.
I still want this thing off.
And now you get to see the power of a bard.
Oh, we're saved or doomed.